Okay. Hey, thanks everybody for coming. So we're going to get right to business. We're going to talk about, especially since there's not that many people here, we're going to talk about any celebrations first that you have for, I was going to say April, but we're in April. For March, I know I'm like speeding ahead, that you have for March, whether it's for your business or life or anything. I want to hear it. And let's just talk out loud because like I said, there's not that many of us here, so we can. So who wants to go first? Who's got something to celebrate from March? Come on.
I have something.
Do it. Go for it, Tracy.
Okay, business for recruits, the most in any month I've ever had.
Yoo-hoo.
Totally love that. And then personal life, just the end of March, and like spring break was smooth, was lovely. It was a good month. I'm so happy that we're going. And now we're in April. So let's go.
We made it to April, right?
That's right. Let's go.
Love it. Who else is going to share? Heather, did you unclick, I think? Were you going to share?
Oh, yeah. No, I was just going to say I was super happy to get the March incentive last month. So yeah. I'm hoping this month won't be a struggle. It's not starting out as strong as last month. I think I had $500 in my 5th day of March, but
yep.
We'll see how this month goes. So I was happy with that.
I think out with the old and with the new will pick up if we focus on that, all the things that are leaving. So make that a big focus, everyone, for sure. Okay. Who else? Go for it, Michelle.
I got one.
Oh, go for it.
I had my first not me party.
Oh, nice. So like
it didn't go well, but I had one.
It's a start. Did you get any bookings off of it?
No.
Oh, shoot. Did the host try? Was she the one? Did the not go well? Was it her or was it?
Everybody she private messaged just
so she
said
did
no.
She did do the stuff at least. Well, that's good. Well, yes. Yay. You broke the ice. You did it. Now you got to book more. Nice work. Nice work. Okay. Now, Michelle, did you have anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Go, Michelle.
I joined on the 18th and within a week I had somebody underneath me.
Woo woo. That is exciting. Any tips, tricks? What did you do to get them to sign?
I literally just showed her the free incentive thing and handed her my phone so she could look at it, and she hit the button and filled out the form.
So you asked, basically. It was that simple. You just did the ask, right? Love it. Very cool. Cool. Who else? Renee, come on. You had a good month.
I didn't hear what the question was.
Just anything you want to celebrate from March. Can be 31 or non-31 or both.
Geez, well, I just started in March and I achieved my $1,000 already. And
amazing.
Yeah, I do have a party here next Monday. And so far, that's all I have, but I'm working on it. So
she's working hard. She is moving fast. That one is for sure. Awesome.
That's amazing. Danielle, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. So my grandson was born in March. So that was like my huge March. Yes. Non-31 related. Although
it was my birthday in March.
He was born St. Patrick's Day. So
fun.
And he already has 31 items with his name on it and the bear. So we're good. Cool. We're good. Yeah.
Cool.
That was the best part of my March.
Awesome. Who else? Cindy, you got anything? Cappy, who joined us on Cappy? Or Cindy, you got anything? Come on, I know you do.
Not a whole lot, but I had one quick booking and she was able to make her party over $200 in 48 hours.
Wow, that's exciting. Yes, that's awesome. Cool. Yes. Okay, so what I wanted to focus, was that everybody? Is Cappy, do we know who Cappy is? Does anybody know who that is? And they might just be able to only listen. Oh, and here comes Cynthia too. All right, I'll ask Cynthia in a minute because it looks like it's taking a minute to connect. I'll talk about what I want to do next, and then we'll let her still have some celebrations because I know she's got some things to celebrate too. Oh, it's Janine. Hi, Janine. Can you chat? Looks like she can only chat. Go ahead and tell us that makes sense, your last name. I get the Cappy now. Nice. Okay. I was like, what's the Cappy? Or not, I don't even know how to say your last name. I'm gonna slaughter it, and I should. It's like
Capitano.
Capitano. I was gonna say I was like Cappuccino. I was like, I don't know. Do you have anything to celebrate, Janine?
Well, I started last month.
Woohoo! She's back. She's
I'm back. Well, I
right?
rejoined, or
Yep.
however you want to say it.
Yes. Very exciting. And
Had
anything
a pretty good month.
anything non-31?
Had a friend had a baby.
Oh, all the babies.
I was able
Love
to
it.
be around. I wasn't in the room at
Cool.
the time, but
Cool. Very cool.
Yep.
Okay, Cynthia, if you're there, if you can hear me, we were just all we've done so far is we were all just telling anything that we wanted to celebrate from March. It can be 31 or non-31 related. So let me know if you can. Looks like she unmuted. I know you have things to celebrate, so let's hear it, girl.
Just celebrating being a new consultant and making that $1,000 goal.
Woohoo! And a new recruit already as well, who's been launching her business. Yes. Very exciting. Yes. Anything non-31?
My granddaughter is starting to crawl.
Oh,
Finally.
all these exciting little baby things. How exciting. Okay, looks like Andrea's joining, but we're going to get started on the rest and we'll let her talk in the chat. I'll let her celebrate. So what I want to talk about tonight is show of hands, first of all, who got to see Saturday's premiere already? Show your hand if you got to see and listen to that. Cool. Not everybody, but almost everybody. So one of the things besides the premiere that they focused on was basically 3 different ways to party. There's more than that, but there's 3 main ways to party right now. And they used the WOW concept with each of those. So they talked about Facebook parties, which I think everyone on here has done. Yes, as far as I know, everyone here has done at least their launch that way and or tried to do their own. But then they talked about scroll and shop and or texting parties. And they talked about getting back into person. So I want to just discuss that. I know, right? So I want to just kind of break down each of those. I want to start with the obvious, the Facebook party, since we're all doing them and or have been doing them. But I want to troubleshoot that because I know that for some of us, it looks different than it did a year ago if you've been here. Some of you just joined. So you're going to be like, you're just going to be talking about like what worked for you, what didn't. You're going to be listening, taking notes, that sort of thing. Then we're going to talk about the other 2, and your call to action is going to be to do the other 2 if you haven't already. So I'm going to try to get everybody on board for trying all of them, even if it's just your own version, your own launch again, because we can all relaunch. We can all, do a launch a different way than our Facebook launch too, right? So especially with the out with the old, in with the new. So I want to first talk about Facebook parties. And let's get rid of the junk first. So let's talk about first, like what is not working, what is frustrating, what is happening, that's just not working or that's just bumming you out, so that we can kind of all, maybe bounce off each other, ideas off of each other, what someone else might be doing that's a little different than that, and that sort of thing. So I know somebody's got to be dying to go because I know we aren't all perfect. So go ahead. Who wants to go first? Go for it, Michelle.
I'm having a lack of participation.
Okay. So talk to me in numbers, because I always like to know numbers to kind of give me an idea. Like, is it one host and how many people at the party versus a mega party? What do we got going on?
It's my launch.
Okay.
There were 23 total, not including Heather and I. And like 2 people participated.
Yep. And Michelle, tell me who you're under.
I'm under Heather.
Heather. Okay. And assuming Heather, you did pretty much my coaching to give or take, right? Like she
Yes,
knows
give or
to tag
take.
and do all the things. Yep. Okay. I'll go first with my comments, but I want other people to chime in. I think what I am going to say the most that some of you might not want to hear is that I'm kind of myself getting to the point where I don't really care if there's participation. I mean, sometimes, and I don't want to say that always. Like if, if you've got a mega party and there's 80 to 100 and there's still literally no one, then I understand. But in and I'm not saying this to like bum anybody out. I just think that the reality is a lot of people are burnt out on Facebook parties. I mean, show of hands, who really wants to be at one? Because I don't. Like who does, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just being honest. Like I'm over the Facebook party, and not just as a consultant, like as a consumer also. If you invite me, I'm like, can you send me the link? I'll shop. What do you got? What's this? What's the special? What's Scentsy got going on right now? What's Pampered Chef? Like a lot of us, I think, just want to shop. And I'm not saying that Facebook parties are done. There's another part to it that I'm going to add. I think it's very generational for the most part. My boomers who are on Facebook all the time, they will probably participate. And then it's like a trickle effect down from there. You're always going to have exceptions. You're always going to have some 22-year-old that's got a group of friends that are like, woo, and they're hooping it up. And you're going to have boomers who are like, I just want to shop, right? Like you're going to see both ends. So I'm not saying don't do the Facebook party. I'm saying shift your mindset. And it's a commercial. And keep doing keep doing the things that you're doing, that, everything Heather taught you and showed you, do that with your hosts. But the idea that you had 20 some people, focus on that and building those relationships. And if you weren't, so let's also pretend like for you, it's easy to build those relationships because this was your launch. You know these people, right? But Michelle, let's pretend that Susie Q is your host, right? It's really important still that you are trying to connect to Susie Q's friends and family. If she had 20 people there, you are trying to figure out the ways that you can message them and they're actually going to see it. So the ways that they're going to message you. And that's where the pink happiness, glittery, sparkly, yay, you get the orders, you book the parties, you do the things. And it's more work. Like, I'm not going to lie. It's more work trying to do it, but it's also so much more rewarding because you'll make the connection with the people, and you might connect with only 5 of those 20 people, but make that be the best it can be, right? Like slide down that mountain, do all of the things. So I don't have a foofy, like, yay, let's fix it type of answer. For me, it's more of a mind shift. And I'll talk about a little bit more what I'm doing, but I'm not going to get into that because I want you guys to talk. So I want to hear if anybody else has any other kind of ideas or perspectives or something that's worked for you that is getting people when it's 20 some people in there, like something that's just working for you. And then Michelle, did you have something you want to say?
Yeah, just like in the 60-year-old range, like my mom called me personally.
Yep.
Because she's not a
Yep.
link shopper.
Yep. And you have to do that too. Yep. That's where we like to say we're putting our pink gloves on. Yep. And they just want to know, and you might have to send them a picture or two and be like, here's the colors, what are you looking for? Who are you shopping for? Who are the gifts? Absolutely.
That's what I did.
Yep. And the thing of it is with the boomers, as I like to say, or the older, generation, even my generation, is that they will become your forever customer when you do that also. And while they are a little bit more work sometimes, because you do have to snap the pictures for them and do the things, they also spend the most because they're the ones that are spoiling their grandkids and buying all of the presents. And the next thing you know, have their own $500 party with their own order. Like, I'm really not being dramatic. Like they are the ones that when you cater to them, they're all in. So just keep that in mind too, versus, sometimes the 20-year-olds are just like, give me the link. I don't want to look at any of this. The 30-year-olds even, right? The millennials are just like, I don't want any of this. Please just send me the link. I'll do it myself. You might need to send them a reminder because they're busy like everybody, right? And they're forgetful, but that's another thing. So it's a generational or it's just, we're all, COVID, we Facebook partied a lot during COVID. And,
That's what
It's overplayed.
I think because of the pandemic, there were so many parties.
Yes.
That I think people got tired of them.
Yeah.
And I was going to say with my launch, I noticed that because I I stopped in to Facebook, to Messenger a few times during the whole launch. And I just reminded people, or I said, you know, I see that you responded and I haven't, did you still want to order? And those who were like the 30-year-old age group, they responded with the icon, like the love, the heart or something like
Yes,
that.
see, you're seeing the responses even are different, right?
But they ordered on their
and you're
own
like,
time.
what does, and they do this, and you're like, what does this mean?
But and that's why I think like the scroll and shop is going to be a
It is.
perfect.
And it's
It's
a great, and that's where I think it's a great combo. And we'll get to that. That's where I think you want to offer a combo of things for people. So we'll get to that in a little bit too. Thank you for sharing that, Renee, because it's absolutely true. The responses are different. And so you have to learn how to respond to those heart emojis and those like, woo. So do you want the link?
Yeah.
You know, understanding like, what does that mean? And sometimes you have to just be really like honest like that, you know, and
they're not verbal anymore, even
yeah,
with text.
yeah,
They're
in the nicest way possible. Yep, that's good. That's good feedback. Who else had anything to share about that? Go for it, Tracy.
Great. So, you know, I'm the live queen, right? Like I
Mm.
go live. I go live.
Good comment.
So, bear with me because I know that not everybody is going to be up for this, but my parties they're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I am consistently live in my VIP group and it helps me tremendously. My people see me. They know who I am. They know how I talk. They know when I'm straight, when I'm not cool, when I'm not well, they know. But the other part of it is when I go live, if I have people who will come and engage with me, it sparks things. People like your energy. They love to see it on you. I'm not afraid to say, look, I'm 5'7", about 200 pounds. Let's go. Like this is how this looks on me. I'm a 16, 18. Like I tell them, I'll take pictures. I've had people private message me and say, thank you so much for saying, you know, for giving kind of your size so I can guess that it might fit me too. I had a gal who was worried about the classic sling bag not fitting her because she's a little busty. I was like, oh girl, let me help you. So seriously, I told her my size and I put it on me. I took pictures, like unflattering kind of pictures, you guys, but I did it. And they eat it up. They eat it up. You are a real person when you do that. And they love that. And it's super important to just be authentic. And I'm just like, this is my level, you guys. I'm really sorry. This is Danielle knows this is where I fit with this, but I'm all about going live in the party. I think with the scroll and shop, I'm going to have videos in it.
Yep. That's, I was going to say that videos and or pictures, they need to know you. Yes. And that's huge. And that comes with time for some of you guys that are just joining. Like we know you got to break the ice and just show your kit. And like we all have had to do it scared and we all would be, I mean, if you haven't figured out by now, Danielle's a social butterfly. She loves the stage, right? But even I trip things up. They're never perfect. I don't ever remember the name of a thing ever. So like if you
that's why you have your catalog because you can you're just like what's the name of it again? I can't remember
all the utilities, the Cindy Toe and the Benjamin, and other than that I'm like I don't know. We've had so many purses, I have no clue. And it's okay. You want to look like a mess, to be honest. If you look perfect, they're never going to want to do what you do either. That's the thing. Like you just don't. So live is huge for sure. And you know, some of us were trying to get you to do it on your launch. Some of us were trying to get you to just go live with your kids. Some of you don't have anything when you started. So that's like, we understand that too, right? Like it just takes time. I know Andrea's on here and she was just sending me some videos. She has been doing some really fun videos already to send for her messaging and just kind of following up with people too. So don't dismiss just little short videos besides live too. But I'll tell you this. Do not try to perfect your videos. Don't do a video because you think you're going to do it like 10 times and edit it and make it perfect. Don't waste your time. I promise. Just get it done. And unless you swore or a kid came running through naked, I mean, like literally, I just leave it. Like seriously. And even if the kid ran through naked, I mean, maybe just post it's like PG-13, right? Like, I mean, I'm just saying, and like, I'll add even like Andrea had her cat in her video, and she was like, I was just talking with my cat. I mean, like, it's so cute. Like, use your animals, use your kids. Like, seriously, like, I was watching it and was just like, oh my God, it's so cute. Like, how could I not watch?
And,
Well,
and it's a trigger for people because you're a real,
Yes.
you're a real human being.
Yes.
You're real. We have kids. The dog comes and barks, like
Yes.
whatever. And
I literally, my kids left me and I was like, I have a Zoom. You think the dogs are going to be okay? And they're like, it's fine, Mom. And I keep like Stink Eye and Charlie over there because I'm like waiting for him to get in trouble. Because yes.
I sat down to do that video and she jumped up on my lap and I'm like, seriously, don't you know I'm trying to do a video? I'm like, screw it. She'll just be part of it. Like,
I would
here's
add
the thing
the
she
cat
did know.
always. I mean, seriously, Andrea, I think you could do like Thursdays with my cat. I mean, like, seriously, people will follow that stuff. Like, have fun with it for sure.
right.
Yes.
And I have a feedback on that. One of my cousins was in the party and she said that she watched one of the videos with one of the little girls in it showing her kit,
Yes.
and she said that really helped.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who did that. Who did that? And who had their kid in there? I forget now. But yeah, someone in your mega launch. Yes, one of the new consultants did it. It was super cute. Yes.
It was Kelly.
Yeah, it was. You're right. It was Kelly. Yes. Yeah, they love to see it. They really do. They love to see it, and they love to see. Oh, look at Cindy's got like her cat. Absolutely, yes. But the most important thing is that Tracy does with her live videos. There's two parts. She's super authentic, and she just has fun. Like, don't overthink it. Just make it fun. No, we literally no.
Oh,
I don't know.
You know, they
Say
love
dog
to
and
see the real you. So just remember those things when you're doing it. Oh, look at Renee's got her dog. Cynthia's got, who do you got with you?
My grandson.
Hello. Yes. No, we all love it. So I love that you definitely talked about the live video. Okay. Michelle, I think that was a lot of tips, right? Are you good? Was that quite a few tips? Yeah. All right. Who else wants to, I want to do one more request at least, at the very least, with Facebook parties that we're troubleshooting that are just like, oh, this is happening and it's driving me crazy. Do we have anything else that we can help troubleshoot that's happening that's boo-hoo in your Facebook parties?
No.
Okay. So I just want to talk briefly about what I'm doing then, that's kind of solved some of my problems. And that is, and some of you, this is going to take time because you did just join. So you're going to have to kind of weigh out when you want to start doing this versus when you don't. Because some of you don't even have your VIP customer group yet, right? Like that's a step that you're just working on right now. You're just trying to get your next parties going, that sort of thing. So put this in your back pocket for some of you newbies, right? But some of you that have been around, I am no longer partying anywhere except my customer group, and it's working. So I've guinea pigged it for a couple of months. So I am literally doing so I used to do mega parties only. So just like most of you that have launched with me, you were in a mega new consultant launch. Michelle, or for anybody else that isn't here, a mega is multiple hosts or multiple consultants, just depending on what we're doing. So my hosts know, I tell them in my coaching that like, that's where I'm partying right now. I promise everybody's going to know your links. We've got the links all just like I would in a mega party. And I know the biggest fear basically for me, and I'm sure many of you that have been around are thinking, are your customers going to get annoyed with that? And I have a couple of parts to that. My people who participate all of the time, I can tell they are not annoyed. They are still participating. They are doing the things that they always do, right? They still want to win the giveaways. They still are like, oh, I have this, I have that. So there's that part. The second part of that I think is helping is I'm not doing a full blown big party. I already on average, my customer group was used to, I would post in there 3 or 4 times a day. And when there's a sale, I would beef it up if we've got an outlet sale, or when I would do a theme. And that's the other thing that I'm doing is I'm doing a theme. So whether it's themed because 31 has just handed it to us on a silver platter and it's like, hey, we have all these bundles this month, or hey, we have these things leaving, or hey, we have this sale. Or it's something fun like it's St. Patrick's Day week, it's Valentine's, it's Easter, right? Like you do whatever you want. I mean, you can, the sky is the limit with themes, right? March was reading month, Dr. Seuss, like there's so many things you can do and so many easy, you Google it, you're going to find memes and recipes and jokes and all the things with whatever theme you're possibly doing. So I'm keeping it super simple. I'm making sure they know the customer special. I'm making sure they know what they get when they book parties. I'm making sure they know what to join. My hosts are still doing all of those things. So for those of you that have seen my hostess coaching, she's still posting what she wants with her party. She's still posting what her favorite things are, right? So they're seeing other people. And quite frankly, if everybody else who never participates in my group is annoyed, I don't really care. I really have taken the attitude, like if you already weren't participating and you're just a watcher, or all of a sudden this is blowing up your feed and you don't, whatever, like I'm really just not going to worry about it. And I haven't seen really that many people leave. In fact, it's the opposite. Because I'm doing this, I'm getting 100 people in there brand new from all my parties, because that's where my party is. And they know they can leave. They might not all stay either, right? They might get done with the party and leave, but it's saving me time. It's boosting my algorithms, which is back to what's happening to Michelle's problem, right? Like if nobody's participating, nobody's seeing it. Like it's not even just that that's just a vicious circle, right? Like they might not be seeing it. They might not be participating because they're not seeing it, right? And they're not seeing it, so they're not participating. I mean, that's just this vicious circle. So it's helping that. But again, I'm still standing true to what I said to Michelle too. Like I'm also just like, it's commercials. They either see it or they don't, and they shop or they don't. So food for thought, something to think about, something to try. I'm having my own party, so I'm getting my own orders. You can choose if you want to keep the benefits or do it as a mystery hostess. I'm varying it based on what my needs are, if I'm being super honest, right? Like we're allowed to take, we don't always have to do a mystery hostess and give away the free product. We're allowed to get it, right? Like there's lots of new things. We want all the things too. You could do it as a fundraiser if you wanted. There's all kinds of things you could do, right? You could do it as your party could be a give back for everybody that orders from you. You could do the opposite. You keep the things, but you're going to donate to Humane Society this month for everybody that did it, or whatever's near and dear to your heart too, right? So just something to think about. I'm not saying that it's the perfect way. I'm not saying my way is the only way, but I just really suggest that you consider the idea of it and play with it. If nothing else, do what I did. Try it for a few months. I basically since January just kind of went for it, and I didn't have very many hosts in January and a few more in February, and then in March was all in and was back to my like 8 hosts, and I didn't have a squawk from any of the hosts. Some of them were previous hosts even. So they were like, you're doing what? And some of them had never partied before. I'm like, cool, this is how you do it. Okay. So, you're always going to get different things there. So, okay, Tracy, I know you raised your hand. Let's hear it.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be.
So when you pitch it to your potential host that you're going to throw it in your VIP group,
Yep.
do you mention to them, I have 400 and whatever people, you probably have like 900 or a million people in your VIP group. Do you pitch
Maybe
that
not a million, but more than 900.
Wow. I don't even, I have to look and see how many I have. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. But so my question is do you pitch it to them that way, and that you could potentially get more orders, or how does that?
Yep. I'm looking for it right
Okay.
now, actually, as we speak. I want to just tell you what my verbiage is.
Okay. And I have 527 people in my.
That's
I
nice.
know!
That's nice.
And it's only been 4.5 years, you guys. So keep going.
Yep. Okay, so my first message is the same old message that I always had. So I just want them to understand the battle first. So the very beginning one, I really didn't change. I talk about how it's a battle, the insider, they want to be the biggest one, that they win. So all of that is the same. And then after I'm looking for it.
That's okay. I was just curious how you word it.
Yep.
Because I'm actually doing, I don't always do a battle. I do megas, but it's not always a battle. Some people are not up for a battle. They don't want to
Yep.
compete, but they
Yep.
do well. And then, but I'm doing my first battle in a long time. And they're they're all like super competitive. It's cracking me up. But I did it in a separate group. So next time I think I might do my next and then I can say, and then it's not another group you need to join. You're already in my VIP group and you can just gather your friends in
Yep.
there.
Oh, of
When you
course.
battle, what are you talking about, Tracy?
So sometimes we'll and Danielle does this too, but we will have hosts, we call it a battle, but the host with the highest sales, you kind of pit them against one another and you encourage them to get a higher and higher PV total. And then the one who has the highest gets like a mystery bundle or something. You give them something for beating out the other ones.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Same as what kind of like what we did, the race to the queue with you, Renee, only instead this is your hosts that are battling. So same idea. Like it's just, another little fun thing that you can kind of do. I don't want to keep digging and it's not, my board app isn't showing it right to me. So I will post that for you guys though. I will, because everybody will want to see that. So I can definitely show you what that looked like. So I think we're good on Facebook parties. Unless anybody else has any questions. Yeah, go Tracy. Did you still have questions? No.
No, I just lowered my hand. Sorry.
You're good. Anybody else have questions around that or Facebook parties in general?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope.
Roll
I'm
and
good.
shop. Danielle will be the first to say she also has not done scroll and shop or text parties. I've looked at them for a couple of years. Oh, Renee, did you have something else to say?
Not about Facebook, no.
Oh, okay. I personally want to do it for my own customers first. And that's what I really suggest you all doing first. And then that's going to show them, that's going to show you how to do it. And that's going to show them what it looks like also, right? And then you can ask the question, is this something that you would be interested in doing with your Facebook party? I also think back to, we kind of touched on it. I think it's really important to have it ready to go for your hosts, whether that's a Facebook or an in-person. Because I think, again, for those people who just want the link, having this is more exciting, right? Like our website is okay. I'm not going to say it's like horrible, but I think that there's more it could have. And you can see that in a scroll and shop if you haven't looked at them already, right? Like, Andrea, I think, but no, somebody was saying like, they know they want to put videos in. Tracy, maybe it was you even, like, you want videos in it, right? Like you can personalize it where the website that doesn't have that, right? You can make them understand what does it mean to Facebook party with me, right? You can have a quick little snippet, what that looks like. What does it look like to do this scroll and shop? What does it look like to do an in-person party? What does it look like to join my team, right? Like you can have little short 2-minute videos with your cat, with your friends, with kids, right? Whoever you want, but you can. That's a great place to have it. But here's the other thing I'm going to say with that too. To get it started, don't overthink it. Don't wait until you have all the videos and all the things and know how to make a scroll and shop perfect, right? Like there are so many of them out there that are being shared, and home office just shared all the ways on TOT that go along with the premiere video. Like just do it. Just go for it, because I know some of us, I'm included, I get in that boat and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, and I want to do these videos instead of just going for it and adding the videos next time and doing the whatever for the next catalog even, right? Because that's just it too. Don't spend a bunch of time when this catalog is ending this month also, right? Like we have a whole brand new catalog starting in May. So that's another reason you don't want to revamp and recreate the wheel. So I want to see in the comments who is going to take the challenge to do a scroll and shop, like non-negotiable month still with your current friends and family. Even if you just launched with them, let them be guinea pigs. Like literally, even if they just shopped from you, those are your friends and family. So message them and just be like, I'm learning this really cool other way to party. Can I just show it to you? Because I need some feedback and I need to try doing this and I need to try like just what it looks like, right? I guarantee they're going to be glad to just look, right? And who knows, they might see something different and be like, oh my gosh, like you can share with them what's retiring even. You can have some conversations, right? And don't be afraid to make a new Franks list also, even if you just joined, right? Like right? Which is scary. Sometimes that's called our chicken list, right? Like who did you not invite and you kind of wanted to, or you didn't, and you thought, oh, I don't think they would like it, or oh, I don't know, right? Like who else could you just have a conversation with again and be like, I started 31 and I would you be interested in just looking at something for me, right? Like have those conversations as well. Yes. And it's yes, I love it. Look at it blowing up that everybody wants to try it. Yes. And I just can't say enough. It's one of those things that I think once you do it and you learn it, me included, I know that we're all going to be like, especially those of us that haven't been doing it all this time, are going to be like, why didn't I start this sooner? I guarantee it's going to be a nice addition, if nothing else. All right. Any questions surrounding it? I mean, yes, Renee, I will say that like, I'm not going to have all the answers, but like, if you've tried it and you have questions, please, because Tracy or Heather or one of us might be able to kind of, just because we know other people, even though we haven't done them, we've been listening and we do know kind of some of the things that are going. But my biggest suggestion is go to TOT and do it and grab those boards. I know most of you at this point have the boards. There's some in the boards, there's directions in there. Share, bounce off of each other. A lot of you are in accountability groups already. If you're not in accountability group yet, message your sponsor, your director afterwards and say you want to be, and we will try to find some people for you. Michelle, you might be one of them, right? Heather, get with me, because I've been putting people in little pods and they are helping each other. I know Abby and Renee and Cynthia, like some of them, they've been helping each other with surveys and all kinds of things, and they're literally asking each other questions. And I'm like, I don't know the answer. Yay, I'm glad someone figured it out. Like Andrea was in there, I think, asking today. So make sure that you, Andrea's saying she's going to work on hers tomorrow. So lean on each other for that too. Okay. All right. Sorry, Renee, go. What was your question?
That's okay. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're good.
I can't turn my audio off and I can't text or anything. So
you're good.
As you know, I am having a scroll and shop party on Monday.
Yep.
And what my hostess and I have decided to do is she's going to, invite everybody. And then once she gets a list together of the people that that want to come.
Right.
We are
say yes.
Yep. We are going to have a group messenger party with the shop and scroll.
Just make sure they know. That would be my only suggestion. Some like it, some don't. So just make sure that you ask. Yep, before you throw them in there, because some love that too. Some again will. Yep.
And we're just going to only have this group party for like an hour.
Yes. Yep. And let's make sure they know that. Make sure they know that it's going to be a group hour long. I'm going to show some things in there. And if they don't want to join that, here's the link, right? Just like back to the Facebook party, right? So yes.
And the reason why we're doing that is so that we have some interaction besides just roll and shop.
Some people do messenger parties. There are some messenger parties out there.
Right. And I think that with the scroll and shop, the only thing that there is not is a, other than you can, there isn't anything in any way necessarily to interact other than putting a video on or, that's taped.
And so also look at this, you guys, because there's a difference and it's on the boards. Look at the difference between a scroll and shop and a texting party, because there's kind of two different ways. Tracy looks like she's got something to kind of add to it too, because a texting party, your host is actually trying to get you their numbers so that you can send them the scroll and shop and or some graphics and some videos. So, but the messenger I don't have anything against the messenger, as long as they know, as long as you've asked me and I know what's going to happen in that messenger group and that there's going to be, people in there. Absolutely. I wouldn't see not to, just like I said, but if you put me in there, I will leave. Like if you just all of a sudden put me in a group for a party and you never invited me or you never told me how this was, I will tell you, I will 100%, I'm out of there. Like that to me drives me batty. So just keep that in mind. Tracy, did you want to say something with?
Well, in fact,
Go ahead, Renee. Go.
that's
go.
why I think you have to limit it to a certain amount of time.
Yep.
Rather than the
I
entire
agree.
time of the stop and scroll party.
And you got to make sure that
Because I
those
think that
people, another tip I would say is make sure that they know when that hour's over to please message you privately. And then you can take those, because that's the other thing. I don't want to see you helping Susie Q trying to get an order and this keeps going on. You said an hour, but it goes on for days. So yes, so make sure that you make it very clear that they're going to message you afterwards and you're going to help them. And that's perfect. I mean, that's what we were talking about. That's back to what we were talking about with the Facebook party, right? Like you want them to message you. Yeah. Tracy, did you have something you were going to say?
Well, I was gonna, along that vein, I just attended a Jordan Essentials party. It was 100% in Messenger. And my friend who invited me told me it was going to be in Messenger. And I'm like, wait, what? We're all going to be in one Messenger group? And it was annoying. And Danielle, you know how I feel about Messenger groups. I try really hard not to do them, except I have a battle of hostesses right now that I'm coaching. And so I'm just giving them and if they have questions, they're supposed to come and talk to me separately. But that would be the other thing that's what I was going to say is don't let it get crazy on your people, because I would leave too. Like I was that person where I was just like, can I have the link to shop? I really don't want to see all this. You know? Yeah, that's you too. Okay. So it's hard. It's hard. But I think that if you have the time frame limited, and I think that if you just make sure that you're not like back and forth in it with like one person and driving everybody batty, I think you'll be fine. The texting party I use Project Broadcast, and they all get the same thing. That's something you guys can wait for. You don't all of you new folks, that's not something that you'd want to probably be part of yet, but it's just really, really handy. So,
but make sure you look at both. That would be my suggestion. Make sure you look at the scroll and shop, the texting party, and kind of make like a combo of it for yourself. If possible.
Yeah, I also found, just so you guys know, they did put the scroll and shop parties. They did give us a template to use on TOT in marketing.
Okay.
I put that in the comments, but it is in marketing. And then the local parties, there's info in there as well as in person and mega and all that. So just
cool.
Just so that you're aware.
And that's all under marketing.
It's all in marketing. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to add that to the April training. Thank you for that. I'll look that
absolutely.
up. Okay.
Put together either. They really are not that hard to put together.
Yeah.
Not as hard as you think. It's like you said, Danielle, don't overthink it.
Yeah. Yes. Especially if they're giving you a template. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Okay. Anything else around scroll and shop or texting parties? Okay. Dun, dun, dun. In-person parties, which probably scare some of you. They're so much fun. Okay. And this is another one of those things that I want you to not overthink. If you can't do it at your house for whatever reason, you don't want to clean, you don't have space, you got too many people there, all the things. The amount of parties, and Shannon's on here that she can testify, she did as well, that I've had, and Tracy, that before COVID, I had at Applebee's and Big B's and all kinds of different places, churches and all kinds of free places, right? Like free. Don't go renting a hall. Don't go being crazy, right? Clubhouse, find a place to do in person. And they gave, again, I'm going to refer to TOT because they gave the wow. I'm going to add to that a couple of things, and I have the resources for this for you guys. And then I'm going to open it up because a couple of you have already been brave and you've already done some in-person parties. Did we lose Abby? No, Abby's here. I don't know if she can talk because Abby did an in-person party already. So do the wow. What I'm going to add is what's called a backwards catalog party, which is kind of part of the wow. Haha, there's Abby. I'm gonna put you on here in a minute. A backwards catalog party, basically in a nutshell, helps you slide down the mountain. That's the best way I can show it. So you have everybody start in the back of the catalog, and I'll go through it really quickly. They're gonna see the kits. So you're going to talk about why you joined. You're going to, you know, show them all the things. You might even do like a fun game that we do. And again, I've got the resource for this, is ask me about my job. So just like I do in your launch party, and they get bonus points for asking about your job in the party, you do the same thing right there, and you hand out tickets, right? Or you do one giveaway from that drawing. You do whatever you want, whether it's a grand prize or it's just from that, but you do something fun where they're going to win, you know, something. And you get them, and you set a timer and you have them asking. And then the catalog goes to those insider exclusives. So if you have them, you're showing them. If not, you're pointing in the catalog and you're showing them what to look at and our rewards. And if there's the extra, like this month, the $25 set with the Fresh Market thermal and all the things, right? Then you show them that this is the nuts and bolts of our catalog. You remind them that online there's going to be more, and you show them that the front is all amazing. And I haven't looked at this next new catalog, but this is generally how our catalogs go, so correct me if I'm wrong. But the front is all kinds of ideas and all the pictures, and you're like, this is gorgeous, but this is where it gets hard sometimes to know what everything comes in. And you know, you can get online and look. So that's the backwards part of it. Okay. And it's very similar, like I said, to the wow. But the other part is the games. And I'm going to let Abby talk because I know she just had a party and had some fun stuff. I have a whole, I used to actually like have a team webpage. I've still kept it up. Not kept it up. I've still kept it. I have not kept it up. My blogs are from like 2016. So don't read the blogs because they're really old. But tons of files are on there, like literally games galore. And Abby can tell you some that she picked out, and then Tracy and some of us, Shannon, and some of us can kind of tell you some of our favorites. But games are what makes it so much fun, and it breaks the ice and just, again, get you the bookings, get you the things. So Abby, do you want to tell us about your home party a little bit and some of the fun things you did and what worked and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so I have done 2 home parties so far.
Woo.
And yes, my first one I was really nervous, and so we did the island game.
One of my
And
favorites, by the way. Tracy's shaking her head, so is Shannon. I'm so glad you picked that one.
it
And
was my grandma's party, and
Yes.
she had all the church ladies over.
So I
And
bet
so
it
I was
funny.
like, yeah.
So really quick, the island game is they have to close their eyes and draw, and it's hilarious. And then you drop, and it drop, yeah, or they can do it like this. There's a couple different ways they do it, but it drops all the seeds that you want to. Like when you got to look at the game, we won't go into great details, but I love it that you did it with the church ladies because I'm sure they just giggled.
They ate it up. They absolutely loved it.
Very fun,
And
very fun.
then for
And-
the second one,
And the
go
other
ahead.
thing I'll say really quick, Abby, that was great about that one, if you make them close your eyes, and then you do this at the beginning of the party, and Abby just said she was really nervous, right? We all are. They all have their eyes closed. So at the
They're
very
not
beginning of the party, you're like, okay, deep breaths, just read this script. Their eyes are closed. Okay. And it really does help you also. That's another reason I love the island game. Okay, keep going, Abby.
And then my favorite one so far, well, I did the dice one too, but I'll go back to that one. Would be I did the fashion show one, and because it was with a group and I didn't really know that many people. And so I was like, okay, well, we're gonna do this because I like to make other people feel uncomfortable too. And so I let them pick their song, and then they got to pick one of like the products that I had.
Yep.
And then some of them actually picked like 2 or 3 that they wanted to model.
Yep.
And they just went, and as they were strutting through,
And
I
I
read
bet
the
they
product
giggled
out of
and
the
had fun with
catalog.
that too. Yep. Yep. And
And they
again,
were-
what's great about that is they giggled and Abby didn't have to do the work. Like, again, they picked their items and they strutted their stuff with the items. So it's literally what she just said. Like, you just do a silly little show. They act like they're doing the runway if they want. Like, some are going to live it up more than others, right? But so fun. Love it, love it, love it.
And
Any other
then,
tips? Go.
the
Got
dice
another game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dice game.
Yes.
And that one helped me to get 2 bookings for my Facebook parties. And so
Yes.
then that helped me to kind of go along. And then the one home party that I did, she wanted to have a little Facebook party for the aftermath. So
Yep.
I made like a battle of my hostesses with them. So I
Perfect.
currently have that going.
Abby, you couldn't have done it any more perfect. This is literally what Tracy and Shannon and I would all give like a thumbs up approval pre-COVID. Like, what we were doing. All of those games are perfect, and adding the Facebook party and or that scroll and shop, right? For anyone that couldn't come, and or just like they had fun at the party, now they want to drink and talk and eat and do the things, right? They know they can go see more commercials and order, right? And they're going to get so many people that can't come to the home party. Let's be honest, right? Like we all know people that live in a totally different state, first of all, and or schedules. But there is one tip, and I'm pretty sure Abby stuck to this. Do not tell them there's a Facebook party when you invite to the home party. Tell them after. Good. And she did, because what human nature, what are we going to do? Oh yeah, I'm going to come. And then last minute, we all do it, right? Like we all are like, oh, I don't want to get dressed. I don't want to go do that, right? Like you talk yourself out of it, especially if you know there's a Facebook party, right? Like really put the emphasis on that home party. I just have to brag on Abby because she wasn't here either to celebrate, and I'm going to let somebody else. I know some, maybe Kristen and Shannon. I don't know who else wasn't here. I'm kind of looking. They weren't here to celebrate their March. So at the very beginning, we talked about anything that was exciting from March, whether it was your business or something in your life or both. So go, Abby.
Like what I've enjoyed the most.
Yeah, and celebrate. What do you got to celebrate? What did March look like for you, girl? Let's hear it.
I hit over $2,000 in PVs. So,
and when did you start?
Like the end of March, like the last 2 weeks of March.
Yes, and she's busted out a launch party. Did you just hear her? 2 home parties, a mega party, right? And how old are you, Abby?
I'm 22.
So do not dismiss who has a 22-year-old on their team, because I don't. She graduated with my kid. Good. Yes. Right. Like, do not dismiss all these generations. I'll bring it back full circle to we talked at the beginning, right? We've got the boomers here and we got Abby here. And Abby, what is your generation? I always forget what you guys even are. You're not even.
I think I'm a Gen Z.
Are you Z? Okay. Because I always forget.
So.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, we haven't even talked about that generation. So don't dismiss though, but look what she did already. She knew she partied with her grandma, right? Like we just talked about that. Bring it back again, full circle, right? That's who wanted to home party. She has helped her grandma all the things, right? She's had to go over and help grandma do all the things. So if it's not grandma and you can meet up with her again for coffee and help her do all the things because she's just an older lady that's not grandma, right? Like make sure that you do that too. A phone call, something that you're going to connect and help her with all the things. And she got her church friends there, right? And she didn't have to have the Facebook to get her church friends. She probably sees them 2 or 3 times a week, a Bible study and all the things, right?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Very, very cool. Okay. Did anybody else here? I know I had a couple other girls that did a home party already, but I don't think they're on. Has anybody else had one lately? Okay. I really don't even have that much more to say. Like Abby, literally, like seriously, kid, like I can't, like you, like she explained some of the best games. There's so many on there though. So that's the thing is there's so many, and you have to do what's comfortable with you. Okay. So now I want to see in the comments who's going to bust out by the end of this month and out with the old and with the new. It is April 5th, you guys. We have 25 days still. Who's going to bust out a home party of their own, and or they know their grandma will have one, or someone that they know will have one if you talk them into it. Who's going to go for it this month? And if you absolutely are like, no, I got spring break, I got this, I got whatever this month, May. So tell me, is it April and you're going for it? Or is it May? Tell me in the comments. Yes, Shannon, you cannot have a party. You are an exception. I don't think you can have one in the semi. How about at the boat though? How about you make a pact with yourself the next time you're at the boat?
That's what I said. I said she needs to have a dock party.
Yes. The next time you're there, you're going to have a dock party. Yes.
She's gonna pull out the little umbrellas. I will have my goofy butt there.
The next time I'm there, I'm leaving for vacation.
All right. The time after that. Wah, wah, wah.
I had a home
Wah,
party
wah.
last year
I've
and
been in
a
this
lot of,
truck for 3
Yes,
months.
if you've got vacations in April and Easter and all the things, I get it, but I want everyone to know that they're going to go for it and they're going to start offering it, right? Like at least go
Yes.
for it, break the ice, go for it, go look at TOT. I'll post the links for the games or message me. I can send you some of the different things. I have my coaching. So I have separate host coaching for that. The other thing that I will say, again, Abby didn't have to do this because she knew that grandma was going to be able to see all these Bible friends. But for a majority of the home parties, what we used to see success with is that we send snail mail invites. And Abby did try to do some of those too. And those work. I'm telling you. Nothing guilts you more or makes it feel more personal than getting real mail at this point in your life. Let's be honest. Come on. Like who sends you real mail that's not junk or a bill?
Bills.
Right? So
No bills.
yep. And what's super fun is that you're going to say like, I don't have their address. Well, here's the cool part. You can make a really easy graphic. Again, a lot of you know Canva and all the things by now. If you don't, we're going to help get you there. Heather's going to get you there. Michelle, if you don't, there's some super easy apps. You're going to do a save the date. And they're going to message their Frank's list of 40 people saying, here's my party, but I really need your address because I'm going to send you a real invite in the mail. And they're going to go, oh, okay. And they're going to answer. And you also just invited them and you gave them a save the date, right? And then you're the real deal. And as consultants, we help send those. They're giving us the addresses. They're giving us the things. Don't overthink the invites. Print something off of your computer, go to the dollar store, get some cards. I used to say use mini catalogs, but they're not giving those to us anymore. So don't overthink it though. Just if it's a theme and it's brownies and catalogs, write the theme. You know, if it's margaritas, it's, you know, that's another thing that's super fun is to make it a theme and include them in that theme. So like if it's brownie, if it's chocolate, wine and chocolate, everybody that brings a chocolate dessert gets entered for an extra prize, you know, something like that too.
Toast and taters.
Yes, fun. So make it easy for your host, right? Like she can either have them help or it's so simple that they know it's chips and salsas and margaritas. Like that's it. That's all she's providing, right? Like either make it simple that she doesn't have to bring much and or it includes them for a thing. Yes. I was a Tupperware lady in the 80s, so I think I'll try it again. And you know what that screams at me? Because the first thing I saw is I've done an 80s party. So much fun. I've done pajama party. Like seriously.
I thought about that.
Yes. And if you were a Tupperware lady back then, I bet you're going to find that you've got some people still that did your Tupperware parties back in the 80s, and they're going to be like, let's do it. Right.
I think they're all dead now, but
they can't all be. But yes, I'm sure you can testify that it was fun back then too. I'm sure that you had fun doing that, right? Like nothing is better than sitting around the couch with a group of women and not just for your party, but for your heart. I'm telling you, it's one of those things that even as you're going, it feels like a job and you had to pack up your car and you know, it's just like anything else. Don't get me wrong. On the way there, sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I could just stay home in my PJs. But I tell you what, I have never left a party and I've never not said, oh my God, I'm so glad I did that. That was so much fun. I'm so glad that I didn't talk myself out of it. Or like Tracy can shake her head. I know, like it is so, you will see, I guarantee, whether you think you're a people person or not, that you need people. And that we need to just sit and chat with women and they're brand new women and you still hear stories. And it's nothing for us to start talking about Jesus or bitching about our husband and asking Jesus for forgiveness or like all the things. Like, I'm just being honest. You know, you hear about Susie Q's kid, you know, how naughty they just got. And you're like, yep, been there or whatever, right? Or, oh, geez, that's what I got coming because mine are toddlers. Like, it's so good for the heart. And you will love this job even more. I promise you, even though it's scary and it seems like, and it can be a lot. Again, back to Michelle's, we're going to take it full circle back to Michelle's frustration with like no participation. You know, you spent how much time, probably, I don't know if Heather did an hour party or a week party or a few days or whatever, but you know, you spent time checking Facebook, doing all of those things, and it adds up little by little, right? And this home party, boom, You went, you packed, you did all the things, and you had real conversations with these people. I promise you walked away with things happening, whether it was booked parties, orders, joining your team, joining your customer group, and they're going to be your forever customer. I don't lose those customers. Those are keepers. That's the thing. Those are your keepers, which is so important. Okay. Renee, did you have a question? Your hand is up. Or did we get it already? No, that's from a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we got here? Go for it, Cindy.
I have to step away for a few minutes. My cat is seeing another cat outside and my curtains are being torn down right now. So I will be right back.
We're almost done. You're good. We're wrapping up. Oh, cats. So really quick, just reading comments. Oh, the basement, dang it. Okay, Tracy, you're gonna make it happen after that. You're gonna have to go someplace else and or plan it for May. Applebee's, absolutely, buy the first round. And that's another thing. They used to have dollar drinks. They don't do the dollar drinks anymore. But yes, that's another thing. Offer to just do something super simple for the host like that, right? Like drinks are on you, or appetite chips, the chips and salsa's on you if it's at a restaurant, right? Like make it simple for her that too. And make her know that she doesn't have to do a ton either, right? Like she can offer something simple if she wants, but she doesn't have to, right? Because you don't want her thinking that she's got to do a bunch either. Janine got one scheduled for this, but had to reschedule. Yep, cool. And then Tupperware lady, and then Shannon, I know you probably missed them, I guarantee. Well, just when you get to the bow eventually, and when you come to Michigan eventually, make it happen, girl. All right, that was everything that I really wanted to talk about. I know this group, I'm going to let you guys just open up Q&A still though too. I know pretty much everyone on here, you guys are staying on top of it. You guys know the April meeting, or the April training, not the meeting. You guys know that conference open today. Oh, conference. Let's talk about that. Let's make sure we do give some hype on that. Heather, Tracy, Shannon, I think that's it, that's here, who have been to conference, or if you've been to your own conference, because like you said, Renee, you sold Tupperware and some of you have done other things. So if you want to share conference experience that you, just because it was fun for you with something else, absolutely. So Heather, Tracy, Shannon, can you just give, really briefly, we're all probably going to be broken records because we all say the same thing and we sincerely mean it, but can you give, why should they go to conference? What do you love about it?
I think last year being my first year and being a new consultant, it was like everything I wanted it to be wrapped into one. I mean, all of the women there, all of the excitement, all of the happiness and the smiles and hanging out with people and being able to see the new products, that were coming out for Christmas. I mean, you really felt extra important when you could see those new products. And I mean, honestly, it was like one of the worst times of my life. I had went like a week after my mom had passed away and I really didn't even want to go. But it was really helpful. I mean, even driving down there by myself was helpful, but no, I had a blast, hanging out with Shannon and hanging out with you and Tracy and meeting new people that I'm still in contact with. Yeah, so I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to make it this year. I really want my girls to be there. I would love for, a bunch of my team to be able to go. I know that they all want to, so we're all going to take a look at our finances and see if we can make it work. But if you can go, you won't regret it.
Yeah, and as far as finances will go, I know a lot of you, I know you're wise, I know why you joined, your money needs to go to bills and all those kinds of things, but make it your life's mission to book whatever those goals are to make that money that you need. What if you could book 1 or 2 more parties and that money goes to conference and you stuff it away in April and again in May and again in June, right? Like what can you do to work even harder to get some of that money from this, right? Like I don't want it to take away from you. I don't want it to take away from your normal money that you might have from something else, or your husband's money, or your partner's money, or whatever that looks like. And I don't want it to take away from what you wanted 31 to do, if that was to pay the bills and do things. So what can you do to get even more? So thank you, Heather. Go, Tracy. Or Shannon. Shannon's ready.
Well, everything Heather just said. I haven't missed an in-person conference, and I don't plan to, because they are basically, like Heather said, it's all the energy from everyone, all the trainings, seeing the new products, just hanging out with people, hearing people's stories and all that good stuff. It's basically, it's about the time of year I need a reboot, and it gives me all the energy to come back and start booking more parties because I'm excited to see who's going to book the parties with when I start giving out the sneak peeks of what's coming in the fall, you know, and stuff like that. So I would suggest if you can go because it will change your business. It's going to give you that extra kick in the butt, you know, thing to get your business going.
Yep. Tracy.
I cannot say enough about the in-person piece and how important the in-person piece is. I just being with everybody, you might not get that from me because you guys don't know that about me yet, but I didn't have a bunch of friends before I started this. And I made friends in my first, I got to go. Did I do Impact first and then go to the retreat, or did I do the retreat and then Impact? I can't remember.
I think retreat and then our Impact that we had in Birch Run or was it the way around?
No,
I don't know.
I went to one in Columbus before it shut
Oh,
down.
yeah. Okay. Yes.
But I had no idea how fun it was to have girlfriends that I could just go and be with. I had no idea. I started this as an empty nester. My girls left the house. I needed something to do. I had no idea. I did not like, not like Girls Gone Crazy or nothing, but it was a ball. We went dancing. Like we did all the
We're like
31
PG
stuff.
rated Girls Gone Crazy. We go to the bar, but we all watch out for each other and we dance and have a good time with each other.
Right. We're not opening
There's
things
no
up for everybody
boys.
else.
There's no boys involved.
but the part, like, there was just so much to it that I was like, oh my God, I never knew I needed this in my life. Like it was so much fun. And we did all the trainings and we did, we were there and we did the stuff with 31, but then we went and we had fun together too. And that was super fun. And like giggled in the hotel rooms. And last year we took over like this whole piece of I don't even know, like where you go eat food, it wasn't a cafeteria, but just whatever.
The
Anyways,
breakfast area type thing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It was just like, I cannot say more. I can't say how much. I have words. I'm tired. The difference between being in person and watching it virtually, it's you will get excited watching it virtually. You will not have any kind of level of fun as you will when you're there in person.
Yep. Virtual's exciting. Like you guys all just got a little taste of that from Premiere. And if you've watched any of the season a day, like don't get me wrong, if you can't go, because we know you've got reunions and camping trips and like that, like I get it. Like I know some of you have that. Absolutely. Virtual is still fun. I cannot discourage it. But if you're on the fence because you're just like, I just don't know if I want to go be with a bunch of women, or I've never done anything like this. Like, I get it. We were all there, right? Like even Social Butterfly Danielle, like, I had to go to some of my first things by myself. Like when I first joined, I didn't even have an upline that I knew. So I literally was going to things by myself. And from the very beginning, what I used to always say is it is the best slumber party for adults. And why don't we do more of that? Like, why do we quit slumber parties when we're kids?
I don't know.
Because it's so much fun. Like, and my girlfriend and I do it now. Like I have a non-31 girlfriend even that we've embraced that. We're like, nope, come on over. We're watching movies and we're pulling the pull-out couch. But like, that is literally, I mean, the training, all of the things, those are wonderful. They are still just as important. Obviously, it's what you're spending the money for and doing all the things, but it really is back to just like the home party. There's just something to be said about being around people and laughing and giggling and not having kids and not having partners there. And some people take their partners, and I'm not against for that either. Yeah. Like, you do you if that's what you do. But for me, I am all about being away from all of that normal everyday life stuff and just giggling and laughing and peeing my pants, literally. like like, no
An
joke.
injury here or there, somebody rolls their foot and we, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That was me, sorry. But no, you're right. You're so right. It's like, give me my girls. I need this. Let's go. Let's go. Right?
Yep. Renee, did you have anything to add? Because I know you've done stuff before. It sounded like I saw you kind of shaking your head.
Well, I was just going to say that it's usually, it is a reboot. It's motivational,
Yes.
and that's what I always got when I went to the Tupperware
Yep.
conference. And
I will say, Renee, I bet you can probably speak to this too. The motivational part of it, I don't want to say it's not 31 because it will motivate you with 31. There are plenty of things, but the amount of things that will motivate you in just your life in general and your confidence, and it will pour over into other things. Like the speakers don't just speak to business, right? And we have morning worship Sunday morning. Like there's so much more to these motivational speakers that are always at these types of conventions. Always. I don't care what company you're with. I know.
Right. And when I say it's motivational too, I don't mean even the meetings that you go. I mean everybody that surrounds you.
Yes. Yes.
Every
because you are surrounded by like-minded people. Absolutely. You are surrounded by people with positive attitudes, people who want to continue to learn. Yes. Yep. Absolutely. So, okay. I think we're a little over our hour, but this was a good meeting. I really, really like it. I think even those of you that are watching the recording, because I know some of you will be, I got to get a picture. So if you want to be in the picture, let's see your cute little face. Like I said, if you're watching the recording, I think it's still great. We're glad that you're still going to watch it. Kristen and Cappy, Janine, do you want to be on? No, we're good. Oh, looks like Janine's trying. Maybe.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know, because you're on, but it's a black screen still. Like we don't see you.
I don't.
Do you have a little video camera?
Do you have a slide on your camera up above?
Oh yeah, good question. Up on top of your laptop or your phone or whatever.
Slide it over.
Maybe.
While she's doing that, my daughter's boyfriend woke up in the middle of the night, speaking of these cameras, and yay, she did it. And their home computer that they never use came on, and he saw himself on the camera. Yeah, it got hacked and the camera was hacked. Like, is that like not the creepiest, right? Shut down, like turn off, like, yes. Middle of the night, it was like 2 a.m. like crazy. Yeah, super creeped out. So put that little block back on, Janine.
Right.
That was the moral of that story. Okay, here we go. Smile, you guys. Okay. Thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to come. I really appreciate it. I think we had some great discussions. I even have some great tips and some great things from you guys. So appreciate it. Bye, guys. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.